I really want to thank everyone who have been here with me for a while, who have started the channel for a very long time. Please don't mind my English. I'm not a fluent English speaker. I'm a typical Yoruba son, but at least we have to understand this language in order for us to carry along many of our people along with what I'm about to say or things I've been saying in regards to this message. Like I said, you know my name. I say it often in most of my videos, so I don't need my details is beneath my video as well. And don't be annoyed that it's been a while. I made a video regarding this because of some of the challenges I'm facing. You will never understand because I can't just be saying all these things on air. As a matter of fact, as a man too, we have to hustle, we have to strive for living as well. So it's been a while that I came online, but people have been pushing me to say one or two things because there are so many people, they have different questions they need to ask me. And to be, there are some things I can say. I'm not really good in talking much, but at least I'm very good at writing. That is my field of specialty when it comes to writing. But I'm still really trying my best to at least to meet up the people's demand. Like I said in my previous last live view that I did some times ago, let me repeat it again for the sake of the new subscribers who has just joining us. What I said in the reason why I'm doing this video, you guys just have to know where I stand from. I'm not here to campaign for any any religion or any organization body. I'm just here to say the truth, the exact way it is. And I hope people won't prosecute me for it because people are naturally religiously biased as a being. But I try to take away. Personally, I was born as a Muslim. This is why you hear my name Ademo Adigbemiga Ganil. I was born into a Muslim family, but one way or the other, I'm a kind of person. I love to ask questions. I love to challenge things. Try to look for because at some point in my family, they almost want to disown me, not because of their things I'm saying doesn't really correlate with what they believe. So I decided to keep mute, then to go out do some because I ask question. Even if I see the same Almighty God, I will ask him question. And I believe that shouldn't cause for an alarm. That shouldn't be a sin. Because even in the same Torah, it said, "Hey, mommy, to see me. You have to know me before you worship. You can't just put your faith on emotion." So the reason why I'm doing this video is for me to unite all my Yoruba people from the belief aspect. And when I'm talking about the Yoruba people, you need to understand that Yoruba people, they are they are Yoruba people are not limited to just today's Nigeria, like today commonly say it. When we're talking about Yoruba, because the name Yoruba is a recent name that was given to us by Samuel Ajayi Crowther. I said this in some of my videos. We were known by our ethnic related name prior before 18th centuries. We have the like of the Egba, we have the like of the Ife, the Beni, the Egba, Ijebus, stuff like that. So collectively, they form a sort of an umbrella body to name themselves Yoruba. So that doesn't really mean that they are not related because like in Yoruba land, we identify ourselves proud before we got the name Yoruba with our individual names. Like the name Yoruba, like how will I say it? In today's Yoruba, you can be identified based on your lineage names. Sometimes you can be identified based on your ethnic name, like the people of Ife or Omole Agbole Bye Bye. Let me say it in English. They can say the sons of New York, or they can say the people of the father of so person. Depend. The Yoruba people has a way of twisting word just to identify. So for this reason, the Yoruba people they are related, but one way or the other, they hold tight to their ancestral lineage so much. So, but that doesn't take the fact that they are not related. I hope I'm making sense. So for this reason, I can bet the Yoruba people, most especially, they began to have some kind of misunderstanding based on after the colonial era ended because some decided to go into Abrahamic religion, some stick to the traditional. So From then till today, there've always been conflict of religion interest. This led to why you will see some Yoruba people, they are not even interested in tradition. Like in some cases, some are not even interested in um, Christian or Muslim. These are what brought me or led to why I decided to pick all of us together. That okay, let me give you something, a narration or a narrative that can actually unite, because the book I'm doing or why I'm doing it, I keep making sure that it's not insultive the way I'm presenting it. A Muslim can be able to relate with you, Christian can be able to relate with you, and traditionalists as well can also relate with the same message, even though the truth will be as glaring as daylight to so many people at the end of the day. But I'm not, this is why I said I'm not here to attack any religions. I'm rather here to shed light on some of the things so that people can come together. With the little we have gone so far, people have been able to, Christians have been able to relate with Muslims. Muslims have been able to relate to traditionalists. Even traditionalists have been able to have a soft mind in their approach to the now to the Abrahamic people. Because at the end of the day, wisdom is all matters. It's not about who is right, who is wrong. We are all on air. We don't know who is right. We are only trying our best. As a matter of fact, what really happens after our death is beyond our idea. There are so many things that happen that cannot be told. The some will say they die, and after coming back to life, they have this kind of experiences. No one can really tell. That is just a fact, unless we are just deceiving ourselves. So religion has always been things that happen of the human. Is a human thing. It has nothing to do with heaven. It has nothing to do with God. It doesn't matter whether you are religionist or you are not. It's not a criteria for which the Almighty uses to decide who is right or who is wrong. As a matter of fact, it's those that actually portray religion much today, they have always been the most violent human being, especially outside Africa. Those that continue to wear the title of religion, pastor, bishop, they are the most people who are into so many shady things behind the scene. Why those you overlook, maybe they are atheistics, they have always been the one they have the best of the character. This is why life is now balanced. So I don't want to go too much on that. As a result of that, I began to think of something that will unite all different Yoruba people from different angle of belief together. So all of them can have a common ground of belief at the end of the day. So that is the essence of my coming. That is the my whole idea of why I'm coming out with this Yoruba Abrahamic. And secondly, we also need to really understand again that the idea of people ask me that why does it take long for me to do a live video? Because people, I know so much people have different questions, and they've been on my neck since through messages that they want to do this, they want to do that. So I just need to, the reason why I've been long is because I'm seeing pushbacks a lot. I'm seeing pushback. Some of my fans within Nigeria and outside Nigeria, in United States of America, Canada, and co, testify to it, because some of them always call me, ask me, what is the problem? Why have I not been coming online? They have been saying pushback. This is the religion today is a big business, and people are really benefiting a lot from it. So saying this kind of thing is like destroying their business. Whereas in reality, I'm not destroying their business. I'm only trying to enlighten people who are into the religion business to look beyond what they've been told all their life regarding the Almighty they claim to be worshiping. Because we don't even ask questions. We just go into religion for so many reasons. Some go into religion basically because they are born into that kind of family. As as you are like this, let me give you an example. Someone that is so much into religion today, if in the Christianity today, if same person is born into in the family of traditionally, tradition is likely to be what he or she is going to do. So it has always been a factor that for someone to come from a religious family, those person always want to take the legacy of the family. It's not as if that is the bit. So it has always been a thing of family thing. I want to praise my family. That is the line my father, that is the belief of my ancestors, my parents. I have to do it. So it's harder for an ordinary man from a Muslim family, someone like me, to just wake up one day and tell my father that, Daddy, I'm not doing this thing. They'll be like, are you stupid? Are you mad? Why, what has gone over you? I have to tell them that I have doubt over this. Ah, my parents look at me as if they almost want to, like, this guy must be a sort of, I don't want to use the word bastard. So, but I just have to make them realize that I'm not fighting them. Whatever they do, I will participate, and that has always been what I do. As I am now, I was born as a Muslim. I went to an Islamic school, the little one I know. So, and yet my siblings, the one in the United States and so many other places, one of them is a pure Muslim, some of them is another Christian. When the Muslim goes to mosque and do something, I followed him. When the Christian too invite me to their maybe ceremonial right, I go there too. And even the traditionalists who I have as a friend, the herbalists, I have them a lot as friend. The pastors, everything. But and my relationship with each of them is making them realize that I'm not against whatever they do. Because I so much understand the Almighty to an extent that I realize that the Almighty doesn't care about what we are doing. Whatever you do is your business on earth. It doesn't matter whether you are right or whether you. What matter is how you keep the commandment, how you keep everything attached to this. So another question someone sent to me from the mail is that they asked me that commonly from my YouTube video, people often ask me that why do I love to use Quran, and because this is what I'm saying, some people always want me to use the Bible alone, but it's impossible because people are just emotionally concerned with what they believed in. They don't think about what other people believe in. This is why I said I don't throw away people's argument. No matter how unreasonable your arguments will be, I will still try and look for a way to at least to learn one or two things from what you are saying, because I believe everyone have a contribution to what it is. Just that people has closed their eyes. They don't care about what other people. They've been so conditioned that if it is not Jesus, you can never see heaven. So the Muslim, they'll be also conditioned that if it's not Muhammad, likewise the traditionalist, that if it is not Orunmila Ifa, you can never see heaven. Whereas if you ask them that this same Abraham that unites us, if you ask an average Christian, was he a Muslim or a Christian? Nobody can tell. Was Muhammad a Muslim or a Christian? They will say he's a Muslim. Why isn't Muhammad's ancestor like the Abraham? Why is it not in the Quran that Abraham goes to a mosque? Why is it not in the Bible that Abraham was in a church? Why is it so? Even the people we are following, we don't seem to know anything about them much. The only book we are having today had to do with what the European wrote for us. I'm not arguing it. Like I continue to say, Abrahamic books, they have their good and also they have their bad part. So I don't like someone just saying, why are you the holy scripture never said this. The holy scripture said this. If you had talk when we are talking about something holy, it has to be very raw, directly from the Almighty. But what you are calling the holy scripture has gone through different phases from those who enslave us. So how is it still holy? We just don't want to face the reality, but the reality stares before us in the mirror. We need to understand that anything what we have today are versions. And when we mean versions, we mean something like something similar, not the original, far away from the. In fact, for you to even call something a clone even look even more alike to the originality. But when we're saying version is far away from the truth, that doesn't mean it doesn't contain truth in it. But people should stop holding it as a thing of the do or die. Just that the way you see, if you didn't reach verse of so thing, you will go to hell. If you didn't reach, who told you? Has anybody ever been to hell? Like I said in one of my videos, if you go and check the original Hebrew text of these very words, you will realize that most of all the common words that we use all over religions to gag our religions, it doesn't even exist. They are man-made words. I was as well shocked when I came to realize that throughout the entire Bible, there was nothing like air fire. So why are people crying about air fire or burning lake of fire? The word air fire, I think I don't want to digress too much because I have a lot to say this night because I don't know when I will come online again. But this this life is really needed. People are telling me to at least to say something because they ask me of so many questions. I don't even know if I will cover everything this night, but I will still try my best. So another thing we also people may think that maybe I'm being biased for at least trying to promote traditionalist religion or faith more than the Abrahamic. I'm not being biased. That is for a fact. The only reason why I've never said anything really wrong about Odifa or tradition is only because, to be candid, nothing is wrong with it. The Yoruba traditionalists are just not organized. That is their problem. They are not organized. But religions are organized, but there are flaws in it. But at the same time, religion was coined out of the initial pre-existing traditions of the Yoruba people. So many people may try to say, I'm trying to I'm trying to I see that kind of comment is very common. People will say, "Why am I? Must I talk about what is the relationship between Abrahamic and Yoruba? Why am I looking for validation in Abrahamic religion? If I want to talk about Isheshe, I should talk about it. If I want to talk about Islam or..." But they fail to realize that a father gave birth to so many children. You can't throw away the child, no matter how it is. The child might even act have a very indifferent act to what the father had as legacy, or should I say, might even be a sort of a prodigal son. But at the end of the day, he's still your child. And at the end of the day, the traditionalists, they need Abrahamic people. That is for a fact. Likewise, the Abrahamic people, they need the traditionalist. This is why I said, for you to see the Almighty or to acknowledge truth within what I'm carrying, you have to have a neutral mind. You need to have a neutral mind. It took me it got me as in it took me a while for me to be able to get used to Omo Eshu, son of Eshu, because I'm so used to condemning Eshu. Eshu is a bad person. And even till today, unconsciously in me and with so many traditionalists who are just going into Isheshe, they will say it, this thing that happened to me, Eshu caused it. But the more I get closer to the traditionalists, I begin to realize that Eshu has nothing to do with this. We are just accusing that person wrongly. Or likewise, Shilai said, Ejekalo boy issue. Let's go and honor issue. Bibo has been conditioned, the Abrahamic believers in Nigeria and they've been conditioned to interpret the word Bibo as worship. So it's a sort of impounded, or should I say, instilled indoctrination in our brain. And it will take a while for people to get to undepict it or to release all those bad energy of themselves. This is why I said you need to force yourself to have a neutral mind. All my life, I understood Quran. All my life, I understood Islam. I had to go and buy Bible. I had to go on YouTube, start looking for intellectual scholars who know about not just random reading Bible. In Jesus' name, the Father fall down on heaven. No, not kind of Bible. People who understand the Septuagint Bible, who can break it down from the Book of the Dead, who can actually analyze this. Like this channel, Akwete, the man is like a rabbi in Ghana. I followed him. I learned so many things from him. And some of these great scholars I learned things from are the likes of the Sheikh Antidio in some of his past record, um, Ben Yusuf, Jochachan, the one in. So I try to I try to follow some of these earlier scholars who are strong at what they did. They believe in what they did, and they are not religiously biased. So this is the first step which I took, and it helped me a lot to read books online, the one I can buy, the one I can go through, trying. So, and when you are saying the truth in life, it doesn't matter where you are coming from. Let me give you how the truth works. Let me explain to you how the truth works. When a fatal accident happen at a very road scene at a crossroad, maybe let's say in an environment whereby there are buildings and the police basically come there to try to ask the people around what really happened. The people at the upstairs, they will be saying the same thing. Those that walks by, they will be explaining to the police, writing the same statement. You will realize that even though they call about 10 different witnesses to come and give account of how the accident happened, they will be giving the same account from different view of it. It's now left for an intelligent officer to realize that this guy is saying this one is saying this, but they are saying it from different view of where they are. This is why I said the Yoruba people need traditionalists. The traditionalists need the Yoruba, and the traditionalists, they need the Abrahamic people. This is not the time for us to be fighting. It's though because one history emerged, sprang out from the other, and both party, you are short of information. The Yoruba traditionalists may think, yes, we are right, we are on the right path. But at the end of the day, if you ask the most simplest question among any Yoruba tradition, just ask him that, where is the origin of the Yorubas? As in, where is the birthplace or the root of all the Yoruba people? Just as simple as that, the Yoruba people can't really give a definite answer. Some will say they came from Mecca, based on religion bias from the Muslim view. Some will say they came from Jerusalem, another bias answer from the Christian. Some will say they come from Ile Ife, they have their points. Some will say they came from Sudan. So an average Yoruba people doesn't even know the history outside today's geographical location which the European forced us to remain. Yet you are saying your history is complete. How is that complete? Does it mean prior before the European stations or to today's southwest of Nigeria? Does it mean that our ancestors don't go about? They only go from Lagos to Ibadan, Ibadan to Oyo, and Oyo live there. Who told you that we don't have people who are migrating outside today's out of Nigeria to Central Africa to Persian land? Or who told you that we don't have Yoruba people? Because in those days, even as far back 200 years ago, we still hear it in today that some of our Yoruba people walks by foot. They go as far back as Sudan to go and do their pilgrimage. They walk to North Africa by foot. They go for 4 days, pass through different forests, and come back. Does it mean they don't have wives over there? Does it mean they don't have any relationship with people over there? But if you ask an average Yoruba traditionalist today about our history, they will try and coin it around today's southwest of Nigeria, try and shape it based on what the European station does too. This is why when they find a roadblock in trying to sort out the Nigerian Yoruba people's history, they rather settle for the idea of they vanish. Don't get me wrong, I'm never saying we don't have ancestors that vanish, but they will say, this one vanish, that one vanish. Doesn't mean we are just like a reporter just vanishing like someone who doesn't have it's because everyone is trying to make the Yoruba people lose complete from an half-baked information they were able to gather. They failed to realize that the Yoruba history predates today's Nigeria and it surpasses West Africa by miles apart. What we have as history of the Yoruba people in today's southwest of Nigeria is just like 20% of what the Yoruba people contributed to the world civilization. So it's impossible for me to agree with you that we don't have history outside Nigeria. It's rather better for you to say, I don't know, rather than to say we don't have. So that is why I said Yoruba people need the Abrahamic, because that Bible that you are basically saying contains so many truths, so many truths. Likewise, the Quran. But out of what is happening, the political drama, the political differences between the Yoruba group of Muslims and the Yoruba Christians, people just want to generalize that they are bad. And I understand where they are coming from. Because what we are, the books, like I said, the books, both books are not the problem. Or should I say the three books, Odrifa, Bible, and the Quran, to me, they are not the problem because they have valuable information that support that would be able to make the Yoruba people revive from their dead history. You just have to have a neutral mind to pick out the point. This is what this one is saying. This is what this one is. This one is. Because when you're talking about truth, no, it doesn't matter where your sources are coming from. When you put it together, they will be saying the same thing. No matter how they'll be saying the same thing. So this is why I say both parties they need each other. Another thing I also need to say, people commonly say there was a time some of my subscriber commented on my one of my video and said, why am I trying to limit my history around the Yoruba people alone? Another thing I need to the reason is because I'm a Yoruba person. You're asking me to go and do the history of, let me say, the history or the true history of the Jukun at full. I won't be accurate because I'm not from the Jukun tribe. Their language, I'm not familiar with it. I can only touch it from the preface. I can only touch some part of it. So don't get angry that I'm not touching deeper in so much the history outside my Yoruba people's way. As a Yoruba person, I can easily, comfortably stand before an elderly Yoruba historian, and they will ask me, why did you say this? I can give them my reference. This is why I said this. So, and we will be speaking the same Yoruba. So it will be easier for me to dialogue with them. But today, like the Igbo video I did, Igbo origin video, which I did, some people had to copy out my number from my YouTube section. They began to text me, or I will try and screenshot some of it. Not that they are angry with me, but it's like they are putting me into challenge which I can't even win, no matter how, because I'm not an Igbo person. I'm not an Igbo speaker. So I don't want to put myself in a very tight corner, even though I can read about their history and say it out. While even saying it out, believe me, some will even come for me. But I can't really defend myself because they can. It's just like maybe a Ghanaian man trying to say my Yoruba history is incorrect. It's easier for me to ask him that, can you want to say you know Yoruba language than me, a Yoruba person? I can just give him a simple word. If he can interpret it, I will believe that he knows my language than me. Like, uh, Shakwata Lala Shito, as in, I can give you a thick Yoruba person. If you can't interpret my Yoruba language, why are you debating my? So I only expect my fellow Yoruba person to debate that with me. Then we have a common ground, a common solution to what we are saying. So this is why I say it's not easier for me to touch on a non-Yoruba people's history, because it's harder for me to defend things I can't say. And this is why I don't want anybody to just see me as a bad person that I'm focusing on Yoruba people's history alone. I'm not that kind of, I love everybody. Honestly, I do. I love everybody, and I don't have any issue with anybody or any tribe. And when I even say Yoruba, when I'm trying to talk about Yoruba, the term Yoruba includes so many people. It's not just today's southwest of Nigeria.